And really we're all here to support your journey with learning technologies, to help you get better value and, more importantly, business engagement. One of the things that we find that most organisations struggle with is that there's a zeal and an appetite to do things differently, but getting heard within the business is one of the things that is one of the toughest challenges that we face. And really that's what we're here to address this afternoon, to give you something in your hand to take away that will help you to be heard inside your business, and maybe to a challenge as well. Okay, our session this afternoon is about supporting workplace priorities, and really what I want to do is to really look at what that means. Workplace priorities, I think, if I had some nods in the audience, that would be great. That the recession over the last year has really acted as a catalyst for change in a lot of organisations. And certainly some of these themes have come from a recent CBI report. But I thought they actually resonated with a lot with what we're hearing organisations are struggling with. And really what they're saying is that over the next 10 years, actually what the future of business is going to be very different to what we thought it was going to be a couple of years ago, with a focus on more collaboration within business, a focus on the fact that organisations are going to have to do more with less resources, have leaner structures, more efficient structures. And I don't think that's something that's just from the public sector. I think we're really seeing that resonate in the private sector as well. And really just the whole fact that organisations are needing to respond to technological change. And there's a quote here at the bottom from the Skills for Growth strategy from the government that's saying that your skills are going to be essential. So the good news is that those of us in learning and development, you know, we have a really, really important and acknowledged role to play in this environment to helping organisations survive through on the recession. I'd like to actually share this quote with you from the CBI report, because what they were saying is one of the top 4 challenges facing businesses moving forward are the fact that they need to keep their skills and the collaboration of people within the workforce up to date. And they're also saying that, you know, new forms of partnerships, new collaborations, new technology, new innovation is going to be what is needed if we are going to be able to deliver coming through from the recession. So business is hungry for what we can deliver to them and for them, but that gives us a number of challenges as learning and development professionals as well. You know, those of you who are part of the Learning and Skills Group, there was a survey recently, 87% said their greatest challenge is how do we get our learning aligned with our business priorities. Another challenge that we're seeing very regularly is that how do we as learning professionals deliver more training to more people in more subjects faster, but with fewer and fewer resources available to us. And that's another significant challenge. The speed of change is raised an awful lot as well. The fact that organisations cannot wait until tomorrow to get the skills and knowledge that they need to make a decision and to do business today. So that whole, particularly the knowledge worker, that, you know, there's a lot going on in terms of the speed of their skills as well. And this is putting pressure on us to actually deliver. And another pressure as well, the CIPD has said that we're actually looking in future to get more aligned with the business and also to be able to measure more learning as well. So this is the kind of environment that I think many of us are working with, and we actually work with an organisation, a government organisation called Vector, who are responsible for looking at learning technologies throughout the education system. And we were hosting a meeting with Vector with a number of learning leaders, and they came together and said, you know, what we really need is we need to be able to articulate what it is that we can do for business. How can we support business better? There's lots of evidence around that learning technologies probably can help. And if we go to any of the fantastic suppliers here, they'll give us good examples. But how do we bring it together in a way that's independent, in a way that's focused, that will allow us to be able to use that evidence inside our own organisations to engage and have a different kind of conversation? And as a result of that, over the last 6 months, we've actually been working together with Vector to look at 2 sources of research. One is a piece of research which is going to be discussed tomorrow at 1 o'clock. I think it's 1 o'clock or 1:30 downstairs. But that looked at a desk research of what companies were actually reporting business benefits. Lots of examples, lots of case studies, lots of how-tos, and really giving us some strong evidential base for you to be able to take in your organisation. The other piece of work we wanted to do was to actually go out to learning and development professionals who are using learning technologies to say, look, what business impact do you think you're having in your business? And to pull that together. And that's really what we're launching this afternoon, is the Towards Maturity Business Impact Indicator. This is the question. E-learning, when you think of e-learning, what is it that you think of? Do you think of something that's going to do everything for you? Do you think of it as a horrible experience you had once because of the compliance training you were forced through? You know, what is it that you think of in terms of e-learning? Is it a struggle to get it engaged in business? Is it easy to get it engaged? What we want to give you today is some compelling evidence to actually review your own thoughts in this particular area. Through our Towards Maturity Impact Indicator. Now, the thoughts behind this is that we know through research that's been done that very few learning and development professionals actually do detailed return on investment studies. So if we had gone out to actually ask organisations, 200 of them, those who have done a detailed return on investment, probably 1 in 200 might possibly have responded. So we didn't. We were interested in perceptions, we were interested in views, we were interested in estimations of organisations who have been doing this. Very much like an Amazon type approach. If one person recommends something, it doesn't mean that much. But if 300, 400 recommend or do something, then suddenly it gives us a perception of value that's more trusted and more reliable. And that's what we're looking to achieve in this Towards Maturity Impact Indicator. 3 areas that we were actually looking at. I know it's a dirty word, I know many of us don't like to talk about it, but one important impact indicator this year is to look at the impact on efficiency. I'll come back to this because efficiency has all kinds of issues if we focus on efficiency alone. But we also wanted to look at the outputs of learning. And one of the key priorities for business today is to be able to survive and thrive through the recession is this concept of business agility. Are they able to change, adapt, renew, and do things in a new and different way? And so how do managers perceive the value that you are adding? And certainly the ASTD and IBM a number of years ago actually looked at how senior executives valued strategically learning. And it was less about return on investment, but it was more about, do our managers perceive this is adding value? So perception is really important as well.